COVID could not have taken us that behind because we blame everything on the pandemic. Constructing our building, we are only looking at how much it's going to cost. I'm not looking at how much it's going to cost to the environment.
Is the global discourse too narrowly focused on immediate climate action? Welcome to this episode of Sustainability Karma. I'm your host, Rajiv Tikoo. Today, we focus on the issues that are likely to influence the sustainability agenda in 2024. We have with us Dr. Vibha Dhawan. She heads TERI, or the Energy and Resource Institute, which has just hosted its flagship WSDS 2024 or World Sustainable Development Summit 2024. The summit had top global and Indian leaders discuss sustainability-related issues. Welcome, Dr. Vibha Dhawan. What are the takeaways from WSDS 2024?
Yeah, as you're aware, this was the 23rd edition of World Sustainable Development Summit. And it's a track to discussions and perhaps the largest event after COP, which is held in South Asia, or largest platform that we provide to all the stakeholders. Inaugurating this event, written message from our Honorable Prime Minister, participation of Prime Minister of fossil fuel. And that's what energy transition is. We are talking whether it is phasing down of coal, and I'll also include oil and natural gas, and so energy options.
Is the global discourse too narrowly focused on climate actions, immediate climate actions, rather than the larger biodiversity picture?
I'll say yes and no. And the reason why I'm saying yes and no, you're right. Because immediately when we are talking of immediate. And we somewhere lose the track of global ecosystem and decline in biodiversity being one of the most prominent one. We are quite aware that climate change has altered our marine, terrestrial, freshwater ecosystems that surround the world. But when we look at it, to me, it's the biodiversity and climate change. They are two sides of the same coin. So therefore, once we have taken care of climate change, biodiversity will return on its own.
Do you expect any breakthroughs this year, whether it is technology, climate finance, or climate global governance?
I personally believe that technology and finance, coupled with climate governance, will help prompt the actions required to address climate change. Now, addressing the climate crisis will demand innovations across various domains, including finance, institutional design, novel partnership, philanthropy, and international cooperation, amongst others. But the only point becomes, where is the money? We also don't have risk-taking capacity. And I'll just give you one example. Like, we are all talking about electric vehicles. We are talking about immense infrastructure to be set up for the charging stations and so on. Very good. Now, if 10 years down the line, when all the infrastructure has been set up and hydrogen becomes a reality, which will be far cheaper than even electric vehicle, then what's going to happen to this infrastructure? We have already faced in the past the prices of solar coming down.
Right.
So therefore, if your projects are built on 3 times the cost of what the new energy will be, there will be no takers. So therefore, that risk is something we have to take care of. We also have to ensure that the finance is available at a price which is affordable. Why it is 2% for the developed part and 8% for India? So that should not be. So it is risk as well as the rate at which you get the loan. That is playing a crucial role in adopting new technologies.
Right.
But it's good now everyone is talking about. In fact, in
SDGs.
No, well, first of all, I'm a person who believes that things will be all right and very optimistic person. You're absolutely right that the grim reality is that the world is falling short of meeting most of the SDGs by 2030. And it's quite funny, like sometimes I say, COVID could not have taken us that behind because we blame everything on the pandemic. And they could not have taken us 30 years down the line. It's also like somewhere it is the politics, which is again playing a very crucial role in delaying, because the finances you can spend on either. It is like right now, it is what do you do with what is happening in different parts of the world versus to meet your SDGs goal. We also have to realize that they are not the isolated objectives, but it is a cohesive and interconnected framework designed to tackle the multifaceted challenges confronting our planet. It's very clear that we have to look at global solutions, and they can only happen with collaborations and partnerships. I'll also like to mention over here, when we are looking at achieving SDGs goals, it's not just finances, it's far beyond that. Finances is a small component.
Right.
It is technology transfer. It is also co-development of the technology, because most countries who have to come out of poverty and so on, they are the ones they require simple solutions, not very sophisticated solutions. They also want jobs, so everything cannot be with the best of the technology. So it is technology to an extent that they can absorb, which can only happen through co-development of technology.
Right.
While for India, I'll say it is very encouraging that we are on track for indicators like neonatal and under 5 mortality, full vaccination, improved sanitation, electricity access, and so on. So therefore, I should say we are doing pretty well compared to many other countries in the world. Not that we should slow down, but it gives us encouragement to do more and more.
Thank you very much, Dr. Vibha Dhawan, for giving us insights into what is likely to dominate the global sustainability agenda in 2024.
For participation in this program, write to us at sustainability.karma@gmail.com. You may also connect with us on social media. This podcast is also available on podcast hosting sites. Looking forward to meet you again at the same time next week with a new episode and a new guest. Till then, goodbye from all of us.